My name is Rosie. Today on Impart Lives, we're talking about relationships. We're going to have a little conversation about the pros and cons about marriages, dating, and all that good stuff. To join us. To my left here is my husband, Alexius. To my right here is Dee, my
Hello.
sister. This is Levi.
Hello.
And that's Levi's wife, Alice.
Hi.
This is the whole gang. So we're just discussing about relationships. Alice, the first question goes to you. Tell us a little bit about what you know about dating, maybe an example from when you guys were dating before you got married.
What I want to say is that what you should expect when you're dating as a Christian person, you should expect not to have sexual intimacy.
We're going to jump straight to that.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
It's the big. So as I was saying, it depends on how you carry yourself. Like if you want marriage out of this relationship, then you want to carry yourself as that woman who wants to be a godly woman that wants something good from this, right? So, and if you just want hit and run, then you can go date whoever you want to date, and for however long you want to date, and do whatever you want to do, depending. It's all about personal preference, right? So if you don't worry about sleeping with 10 people, 10 people when you're dating, and if you don't care about sexual stuff, then go ahead and do that. I'm not condemning anyone. But for me, when I met my husband, we didn't do any of those stuff until we got married.
Good. So for you, purity and
It really matters.
and being Bible
Based, like we were
Bible
following.
based.
Yes, we were following the Bible. Like we wanted
That
to
was-
be pure, not for our sake, but for the respect and honor of God. You know, yeah.
Did you kiss?
Kissing, like just pegs and stuff. Not
Really?
like the deep kiss. No.
Wow. Okay.
So God recommends purity because one of the things is because He is trying to protect you and everyone else that interacts with you while you're in that season. And I know there's a difference between dating and courting. Dating, really, there is no, your goal is basically just to know people, but with courtship, the goal is with the intent
Yeah.
of getting married in the near future. Yeah.
I like that. And I also wanted to say that for me and my husband, like the reason as to why we didn't do any of that stuff is because I believe like when you marry somebody and you start doing such stuff, you carry whatever they have, like the spirit. It's spiritual. It's not just physical, it is spiritual. So whatever demonic and whatever spirit this person carries, you take that with you. So for you to protect yourself from that, not just the physical diseases and stuff, you have to play it safe. Not safe, but yeah, you know. Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Well, I don't really have this. I just know that it's all about commitment because you could be in a dating relationship. For me, I'm not so much like I'm not firm or I'm not rigid in saying that there should be no sex before marriage. It's all about the commitment of both. As a matter of point, when I met my wife, she made it clear to me that she was celibate and she was not going to have sexual intercourse until we got married. And I respected that. And maybe I think that was also part of the reason why we eventually got married. It's important for the commitment. It's also important to respect boundaries and the person's point of view or their beliefs and what they believe in, right? Because you two can agree, you don't really, it doesn't really affect you don't care.
Yeah.
But if you meet somebody and they are like, oh, I'm not going to do it until we get married, then you should respect the person. If you really love the person, then you wait. Or you do the right thing and just, get married and who knows? Because marriage is a long time.
Yeah. And I'm a strong believer of when you do the right thing, and in this case, be obedient, and God will take care of the consequences. Because when you set the standards from the get-go, it sets the tone of, the relationship going forward. And if you have chosen to do what, you believe is true and what the Lord has said, then in this case, God will protect you just for being obedient to him.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to over spiritualize this thing.
Yeah, I have a thought on that. We were saying let's not over spiritualize it, but marriage is a spiritual commitment, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And God does everything for a reason. And of course, we can't go and say exactly what those reasons are because it's never spelled out. But we can look at what happens where they have a child and then they separate and then that child goes through something terrible. You know, God put this bond together, a man and a woman, to create children and to create family and more people. And so there's reasons that we do things that God said. Even if we don't know those reasons, sometimes you just have to trust that it's for the best. And so that's kind of what I see the difference between marriage and come and stay. Like, yeah, you could just be together for years and years and hang out and do the stuff that a married couple would, but you haven't made that commitment. One foot is technically out the door at all times. And I don't see that as being right. I don't think God does either. And again, he does everything for a reason. That's
Right.
you know.
And I think if the marriage thing, if it was his idea, then I guess it follows suit, you know, his way, because it was his idea. And everything that you do, I mean, if it was his idea and you do it his way, he's gonna bless it. Yeah, that's just the basics.
Yeah. So marriage is really spiritual, and all relationships are spiritual. So whichever way you enter into it, it is spiritual, whether you like it or not. That's just how it is, right? Yeah.
So personally, I do encourage dating, right? And we personally encourage young ladies to go out for a movie, to go out for coffee, go to church, right? I don't know why.
Even go for a walk.
Go for a walk,
Yeah.
right? I think it's important to just be in a position that you're able to interact with the members of the opposite sex and get to know them, you know. But don't go overboard. Don't go overboard on things. If you are in a position that you are not married, but in the common law aspect, so the common law kind of aspect, find out why you're not married. Find out why. Realize the reason why, and pray for guidance. Ask for help from parents. Ask for help from ministers. Ask for help from friends, right? That you see married, right? And try getting to marriage.
So I also am a believer in marriage. You know, like just walk down the aisle, let God bless the thing, and walk into it with that blessing, knowing that you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourselves, and your future is protected because, I mean, you've been prayed for and it's been blessed. So walk down the aisle, walk out of whatever church, mosque, whatever it is that you get married into, with that confidence that this thing has been blessed and it's endorsed and it's been stamped by God. And then just walk with confidence that He's got you. The aspect about marriages under common law, I don't even think they're marriages. They're just common law.
It's not a marriage.
It's
no,
not,
it's just
right.
tax breaks.
Right. And people do it for different reasons, like, and then they file taxes together. They, for rent purposes, for financial, really. But like, is that really a point to get with somebody and start procreating based on that?
Well, I think it depends on what you want, basically. Because what may be good for you may not be good for the other person. And mainly, the reason why most, I think, marriages are going on the rocks, like breaking out, is that people don't really sit down to examine why they want to get married. Some people are getting married because their peers are getting married.
Right.
Some people are getting married because of family pressure. And don't forget that because marriage is sacred, and it's saying what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Don't break it. Before you go into it, it's better for you to analyze yourself and understand why you're going into it, so that when you go into it, you know, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And you don't really understand, you go into it and realize that no, there are people who just get married today, and by tomorrow they want to divorce because they didn't really understand the nitty-gritty, and that's where the people who live together, that's where it comes in, because in the beginning they are not so sure, right? So they want to live with the person and see if they can live with the person before they commit. So that's how it starts. So they're like, okay, let's move in, let's start living. If we like it, then we commit. But then sometimes they get so comfortable and it becomes like, the usual everyday thing. And then somehow discussions about marriage gets postponed. And then it becomes like, okay, every day. And then before you realize you've been living together for 10, 15 years and you're still not married. That's my take. Like, just know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but I've also met people that don't really care about marriage. They just want to have a partner and live with that partner just to know that, hey, I'm waking up next to somebody
Yeah.
who cares for me. I mean, yes, they do care for each other, but I don't understand like the real deep meaning behind just waking up next to someone. Why don't you just officiate the thing and just, call it a marriage? Because you really care for each other anyways. So why not just have it blessed by God?
Well, that's where I feel like some people literally go about with one foot kind of out the door because they know, like, maybe we won't feel the same. Like, maybe they're not willing to make that commitment because they know if it gets hard, they can just leave.
Yeah.
And
So then is it a fear kind of thing? Or is it like I'm just protecting my heart? Or
I think
like,
sometimes
yeah.
People
It's just that I don't want to be tied to this.
There are so
person.
many reasons
Yeah.
because there are those that are not married, maybe financial situations. They are not able to afford the kind of marriage maybe the lady wants. I think the ladies are also so tight on guys. They want this very huge wedding and stuff, right?
Not all ladies.
Yeah, and even guys,
It
in
is a
sense,
lot.
right?
I think majority of the times you kind of see it. It's not like a 1 month thing. It's something that prolongs over, for probably the amount of time that you've been seeing that person. Yeah,
I think another big issue with the not getting married in divorce courts, men usually get the raw end of the deal. So the man will be worried about marrying a woman because he knows this woman can just leave me and take half my stuff to her. And that's a huge factor when, a young man's coming up. He's like, I just started making money, why would I commit to that when I don't know if she's going to stay? That's where, of course, if you have that covering of spirituality of God being there, blessing it, you have more of a reassurance that won't happen.
Yeah.
But without that, of course, it's,
Well,
humans
but
are
on that
humans.
point, to be honest, even people that have met in church and got married in church, they still get divorced,
Mhm.
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
God
Yeah.
blesses it, but then what causes that divorce in the end? Like it's
Yeah.
it's still hard. Like you can't really that you're
Yeah.
both together in agreement that will work
Yeah.
for this thing
Mhm.
until we no longer have breath in our lungs. But if we just walk into it and say, okay, fine, we met in this religious institution, so we're good to go. Like let's go down and get blessed, and then you walk out not knowing really what each other has at the back of their mind. Like it's really hard. It's good to be open, open with each other. Be sincere, be honest, no matter where you meet or how you meet. What is it that you want in the end? Anyways, from each other. Like I met you, I like you, but where are we going? Where are you leading me? Like I want to know, like you have the vision, I'm there, I'm walking with you, but are you leading me to a ditch? Are you leading me somewhere where you'll just be like, okay, I'm tired, I'm calling it quits? Like if that's what you want, that's not what I want. So then I'll know, like as long as we're honest, as long as you pray, then you'll know, because honestly, God shows people things, a lot of things in prayer. So pray and believe in God,
I think basically you can't really predict, right?
Yeah.
But the point of it is, if you get to the point where you want to get married, you know already what it entails. Like you're saying, in the religious setting, and even in the societal setting, what's good for if you have offspring, what's good for them, because children who are brought up in a secure, stable family environment tend to do better than those who grew up with broken homes.
Yeah, like almost all the time.
Right.
Yeah, almost all the time. You see all the troubled kids, they are the product of broken homes.
Yeah.
You see? So basically, you do well with yourself and say that, look, it's not going to be easy. You and the person that you're married, you're going to have disagreement. There's going to be a whole bunch of things. There's going to be temptation. You may see another man or another woman who looks to you more better than your partner. But then you ask yourself, this person maybe you're going to attach yourself to, like, do you really know them?
That's interesting. I heard a statistic, and I don't exactly remember how to put it, but basically they were talking about how your spouse can pretty much give you 80% of what you need. And that's actually a good thing, because then that means there's 20% that you work on and you get stronger because of that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're out and you see another man or woman, they might have that 20% that you want in the moment.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, people fall for it. And so if you're going to leave 80% for 20%, it's not going to make you happy in the end.
They call it the 80-20
It's
rule.
temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
And that's very true. And that's where it comes to the commitment. Like, you need to every day work on your commitment. Doubts will come.
Yeah.
But you need to say that, hey, I'm in it for the long term. I know what I want. Because there's a pivotal point where you made a decision and say, I want to spend my life with this person. So when you are in it, life is not easy. There's ups and downs.
There's also a thing about, like, as all human beings, we don't really listen to our own intuition. Like, sometimes you'd meet somebody and you would feel like you really like them and you want to spend time with them. There's that thing deep inside of you that's telling you,
That's not the one.
rethink this, rethink, but you just kind of like, he's cute, or, she's got a good body. Yeah, and you don't really listen to that thing. Like, for me, I really want to urge people, young people especially, listen to that inner voice, that's where God speaks to you. And without it, honestly, you're just lost. So if you listen to it, really listen to it, you will know if this person is a good person to go for or not. And then trust it, And if there's a question mark, always sit down with yourself in your own thoughts and question yourself, why? Why is it I'm double-minded about this person? Because if you're not double-minded, they're the person.
And maybe, God could be showing you something, and sometimes you need to pull away and be, like you said, by yourself, and then that's when God will, point to you, or even just asking God, reveal this something to me. Whatever you want me to know about this other person.
To the point that Alice made before about, like, how if you want God to reveal to you, you could be asked, maybe it's your parents that are revealing. God is talking to your parents about it. Your parents are telling you.
So be open-minded.
Exactly.
So anyone, God can use anyone, right? That's what your point, right?
And the point is, like, for you to be able to have that clear answer, like, my point would be, like, for you to hear that voice and to be able to identify it, you have to be focusing on getting to know this person without the physical stuff. Because those are distractions. So for you to be able to know and to hear that voice, you have to be intentional. So be intentional and get to know this person.
Because there's people who also lead you astray. They have some ulterior motive. Like, you're going to them like, really, I'm crying because he's hurting me and I need a shoulder to lean onto. But then you're leading me astray because you have a friend or a sister that wants him. It happens.
So choose your friends wisely.
Exactly. And know who to talk to. Especially about things like that.
You don't
like,
open it up to everybody.
Exactly. Because you just never know. You never know who has you, who has your back. You just never know. You never know who has you, who has your back.
I think what Alex talked about, the accountability, is very important, because we have people who, when they are in relationship, they want to hide it from their friends and family. It's not going to do you any good, because if something should happen, you are not getting to know this person. And you are in the relationship means you are not seeing everything about this person. You are just seeing what you see. Maybe what the person is letting you see. But somebody else might see something you don't see. Or know something about this person you don't know. And so sometimes not just thinking about the negatives and saying that, my friends are going to think this guy, pollute this guy against me. No, it's just also about being open-minded and saying that somebody can help me see something about this person that I'm not seeing. It can help you to make a better decision. So that's why it doesn't pay to keep your relationship secret. It's not like letting people meddle in your relationship, like just letting them know Oh, you are out with this
Get
person.
into another person.
So next time maybe I'm in the mall and the guy you introduced to me or the lady you introduced, like, and I see that lady kissing somebody somewhere, I'm like, no, this is person.
Yeah.
You see? And then I'm like, oh, okay. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like that because it happens. So, and then introducing this person to your parents also makes them accountable because now they know the parents know me.
That again, that's where culture comes in. Because especially for us Africans, right? Africans, we don't just introduce anybody to our parents, right? We don't. Like we've gone out. Like I've gone out with some people before. I never could introduce them to my parents. It's just no. But like you want to have that inner feeling that this is it, and you want to also know like if I introduce you to my mom or my dad, are they going to be okay with you? You know, I want to have that sort of like consolation within me before I introduce them to my parents, right? And you should feel safe with them too. You know, you should feel safe around them, and you should be at peace. Your thoughts should be at peace with them. When you're with them, you should feel like they're protecting you. You should know that you're okay with them no matter what. But if you have a little bit of a doubt, like you should question yourself, like why am I doubting myself around this person? There has to be some spirit somewhere that, you know, and it will show. Because people can't hide forever. You know, it shows up. I mean, that's why people break up, right? Because you see that thing that they were hiding and you're like, yeah, not trading that.
And especially these days of online dating. So online dating is now taking over the world. And because the world has become a global village. And sometimes you meet somebody online and you are chatting and then now this person says, okay, come see me or come to see you or what, and you want to travel to go see this person. Now you are traveling to another place to go see this person. You don't tell nobody. It just happened. And many people have disappeared like that.
You don't even know this person.
Exactly. The person you've been chatting, maybe you've been chatting for 10 years online. It doesn't change anything. You don't know this person. So if you're going to visit this person, you make sure the day you're going to leave, you are with your friend. Your friend is seeing this person. And you introduce saying that, yeah, this my friend. She or he knows.
But that depends too though, because for us, we were long distance.
Yeah.
Right? We were in 2 different countries. I can't travel with my friend.
No,
to come see you.
No, I'm saying that you need to let somebody know that you are going to see this person here.
Right.
And if you can't, if they can't come with you, make sure they have this person's number, the person that you're going to see, just in case of anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Many people have disappeared like that. There are so many missing persons. They are there. They just left without telling anybody, and they never came back, and nobody knows where they are. It could be you. And there are many creeps online, and that's where they are. The creeps. That's where they hide because nobody knows them. It's better to be in a relationship where somebody you know has introduced you to somebody they know. So now
and they have each other's contacts.
So that person knows that person.
Yeah.
So when you say, "Oh, I'm going to see so and so," the person knows that's where you are.
Right.
You get me? Total strangers.
Even where you meet, it should be at the public, somewhere public, not like in a room or in a,
And if you must meet
wisdom.
this person, make sure it's the guy coming to see you.
Yeah.
So you as a lady, you should be traveling from Canada to Europe
Oh,
to
I
go. You did?
Oh yeah,
Well,
she
you knew
traveled
him.
for the first time.
You knew him though, right?
No.
You didn't?
No.
It was her best friend who introduced her. So
Yeah.
she was
Was he so? It was the person who knew him. So
Yeah.
if you just meeting
Yeah.
this guy,
Yeah. But I traveled. I went out there to meet him. So yeah.
Well,
It was
Yeah,
risky,
it was worth it.
but it was worth it. Yeah, we're here now.
Yeah, because even me, I was like, oh, if she would take that risk and travel like that, it means it's really serious, right?
Yeah.
And when she came, she told me, look, I'm celibate. Until
I told
get
you that
married."
before I came.
Yeah, she told me. And I respected it. We were together for 4 days. We got to know each other. She flew back.
I was in a hotel. Just so to make it clear, I was in a hotel. I did not go to his apartment. Spent the day together. At night, I got to my hotel. We go to his apartment.
Yeah.
I was.
And that was in Europe? Were you in Europe?
In the US.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's different though, because he knew somebody
Mhm.
that you knew. Did you know the person that introduced you?
Yeah, that was my best friend then.
That's a different case.
Yeah.
But if it's a total stranger
Yeah.
and you're traveling from here to Europe, you should make somebody know at least.
Right.
Yeah. Make God the foundation of everything you do. Marriage, dating, courtship, make God the center of it all. Because with Him, you can never go wrong.
For me, I believe, just like we know, like we've all heard, is that relationships are God ordained, and no matter how you look at it, there's spirits involved. There's more than what we see, especially in people and people that you want to know. Be very serious, be very cautious, and listen to that inner voice when you're really wanting to know somebody for seriousness and to marry is a lifelong partner. Yes, God-centered. I believe it.
Well, just let's all know that the union between man and woman is what brings a human being into this world. And this is why it's divinely ordained. That this is the portal that God uses to bring human beings into the world. That's why there's a lot of spiritual connotations attached to marriage. Because there are forces, and we all know that. So the forces are working against you being together because they don't want another human being to come into the world. God created man. When God created man, there were already entities existing before God created man. And these entities, they don't want man to prosper. And so God fights for us all the time. And this is why the institution of marriage is so sacred. I'll also end by saying that let's all focus on God. Because the one who does not fear God, you don't want to be near that person. Because they can do anything to you at any time. And if you made that choice to be with a godless, fearless person, then that's a risk you take and you have to bear the rewards, the consequences. You have to face with God.
If it was ordained by God, then He has the standards, right? So He has set those standards. And if it's till death do you part, then you should put Him as number one, and you should not have a backup plan. He should be like the only plan. But then He's given you the will. So if He's given you the will and you decide somebody else, if He wanted to make you a robot to like love this person, He would have. But He's given you a choice, a will. There's commitment from both people, and you're willing to like make it to the very end, then it will go to the very end, like what He intended.
I think definitely like you have to have a determined mindset, and you need to have God on your side, because I don't think it works without that. Not truly. And so I think that's definitely the foundation of it. And but also have people to talk to. It's good to be able to reach out if you're having a problem, be able to talk to somebody. But as a man, you should probably be talking to a man, because that's just how it should be. If you go talking to some woman about your problems, that's gonna just further the rift, I think. I mean,
That's a good point.
if it's counselors or something like that, maybe. But like, if just a friend, no, that's not a good idea, because you're just gonna cause more problems for yourself. Should be blessed by God.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining us, and we pray that this has been a blessing to you and that it has touched you in one way or another. And if you have any questions, drop a comment down below and we shall sure get back to you. Thank you again and have a wonderful day.